We spend our lives rushing from one task to the next, but which of our daily actions actually make a meaningful difference? For most of us, the modern baseline is almost entirely reactive. An email pings, a phone buzzes, or an alert drops, and our attention instantly snaps toward it. We aren't choosing our focus. We are simply responding to stimuli. This creates a trap where we mistake physical motion for progress. We can cross 20 minor chores off a list and collapse exhausted at the end of the day, even though none of those tasks contributed to our long-term goals. That blur of daily chaos is rarely random. Over time, those blind reactions harden into a rigid set of unexamined habits that dictate exactly how our time is spent. To stop living on autopilot, we first have to map the specific psychological forces that drive our behavior. The loudest of these forces is the urgent. These are the obligations driven entirely by impending deadlines and external pressure. We can see how this dominates our attention through the urgency loop. An external trigger hits, sparking a sharp panic response, and we sprint to completion to stop the anxiety. Finishing under pressure triggers a short-term dopamine hit in the brain. This rush feels like productivity, but is just temporary relief from avoiding a negative consequence. The second variable is the important. These are the baseline habits necessary for structure, things like financial planning or maintaining health. They are vital for long-term stability, but they lack any immediate deadline. Because important habits don't scream for your attention, they are easily pushed aside. Whenever a high-stress fire breaks out, the urgent tasks cannibalize the time you meant to spend on your foundational routines. Even if you manage to hit every deadline and maintain your routines, you only achieve a baseline of survival. Managing stress effectively keeps you afloat, but it does not make the work feel fulfilling. Fulfillment requires a third variable, the nurturing. These are the small, passionate pursuits that exist solely because they interest you. Nurturing tasks are unique because the external pressure to do them is non-existent. No one will fire you if you don't practice a hobby or explore a new skill, meaning the motivation must come entirely from within. While deadlines drain our mental energy by forcing us to focus, these discovery-driven experiences act as a cognitive refill. Because these actions are fueled by curiosity rather than obligation, the brain moves out of a stress response and into a state of flow, allowing our mental focus to recover. But because a nurturing task will never send you a calendar alert, it requires strict intentionality. Without a conscious decision to protect this time, it will always be the first thing sacrificed to a deadline. A life of substance is built when we deliberately place these quiet, restorative experiences alongside our mandatory duties. The way we choose to balance the urgent, the important, and the nurturing creates the overall pattern of our lives. This radar chart shows these variables as an interconnected system. Because time is finite, overinvesting in urgency pulls resources from other parts of life. Shifting toward the nurturing axis creates a symmetrical equilibrium. This balance system results in vastly expanded capacity for work. This behavior is not a fixed personality trait. It is a set of priorities that can be consciously adjusted and rewritten at any time. Look at your last 24 hours and measure your actions against these three categories. If your time is dominated by reacting to the urgent, you are letting external pressures design your life for you. When we step off autopilot and deliberately balance our deadlines with our passions, we take back control of our time. This is where we stop reacting to the world and start defining it.